Hello friends, welcome to our channel. Today we are going to discuss about image. So what is image? It is a it is an optical copy of an object which is formed when light rays coming from an object after reflection or refraction meet or appear to meet at a point. So this can be the definition of an image. The point to be observed is we have said light rays coming from an object after reflection or refraction meet, okay, actually meet or appear to meet at a point. Okay, then that representation of the object is called an image. Okay, so let me give an example. Let us first discuss about types of image. After that I am coming to the example. So we have two types of images. Real image and virtual image. Now let us talk about real image. Real image is the image formed when the reflected or refracted rays actually intersect at a point. So let me give one example. This is a lens. This is called a convex lens. We shall come about. We shall talk about it in the topic refraction. So this is a convex lens. This is actually a transparent medium. When light passes through it, light changes its direction. So this is our lens. Now let us assume we are putting an object here. Okay, this is our object. So if we put this object at this point, then when we draw a ray diagram, we need to remember it. When we draw a ray diagram, we need at least two rays. So I am going to use two rays coming out of this object. So the first ray, which is parallel to this line, which this is called principal axis, but we shall talk about it later. So this is ray 1. After entering the lens, it will change its direction. And a second ray which passes through this point O. When a ray of light passes through the center of a lens, which is called optical center, it does not change its direction. This is a point to be noted. So it will not change its direction, so it will go straight. Okay. So these are our two rays coming out of that object. Actually, okay. So now we can see these two rays meet at a certain point. At this point, we are getting an image of the object. If we put a screen, we shall get an image of the object. So this is our image. Okay, the inverted arrow is the image, and if we put a screen, okay, it will capture the image. So this is our screen, and this is our image, and this is the object. This is our object, and this is our image. I have made the object and image little darker so that you can understand it better. Okay, so in this case we are observing two rays are coming and getting refracted through a lens and meeting at a certain point. So when these two rays get intersected, at that point, if we place a screen, we get an image or optical copy of the original object. This kind of image is called real image, where the light rays actually get intersected. Okay, so we can see two light rays are actually getting intersected. Okay, this kind of image is called real image. So this is the example where a real image is being formed using after refraction. Okay, now we are going to discuss it, formation of real image again, but after reflection. So let us assume a mirror, this kind of a mirror. This is called concave mirror. Okay, concave mirror. So this surface is actually silvered. This is the reflecting surface. Okay, this is the reflecting surface, and this is called a concave mirror. Now this is the center, we call it pole of a mirror. Okay, we are going to discuss about it later. Now if we put an object in front of the mirror, let us assume this is our object. So again we need to consider two rays coming out of this object. So ray 1, which is parallel to this line, parallel to principal axis. Okay, so one light ray coming from this point, after getting reflected from the mirror, pass through the point F, which is called focus of the mirror. So this is the direction. Now again another light ray passing through the point F, after getting reflected by the mirror, Okay, so this is our ray 1, this is our ray 2. So after reflection at a point, at a specific point, they intersect, we can see. So this is the point of intersection where if we put a screen, we shall get an image of this object. So this is our object, this is our image. Object and image are denoted by two arrows. The image is inverted again, just like before. So these two examples show us that when light rays after getting reflected or refracted meet at a certain point, they form real image. Okay, I hope you have understood it. Now another point to be remembered is real image can be obtained on a screen, and real image is always inverted with respect to the object. Okay, so this is what we needed to know. Now let us come to the point virtual image. So the image formed when the reflected or refracted rays do not actually intersect. They do not intersect, but when they produced, but when they are, but when produced backwards, but when produced backwards, they appear to meet at a point. This kind of image is called virtual image. So I am going to explain it with the help of a diagram. So let us assume this is a plane mirror. This is the reflecting surface. Okay, this is our plane mirror. Let us assume this is our plane mirror and this is an object. This is our point object. Now, two light rays coming out of it. One, after getting reflected, it is going in this direction, and the second ray, after getting reflected, it is going in this direction. Okay, so these are the directions. Now, these two light rays did not intersect each other. Now you might say that this is a point of intersection. No, this is not a point of intersection. This is happening in 3D. This ray and the second ray are in different planes. Okay, so this is not the point of intersection. I am drawing this diagram in a on a page of on a page. I am drawing this diagram on a page. That is why I cannot show you 3D. You have to imagine it. These two rays are not intersected. When we see, when we place our eye in this position, our eye cannot see the bent path. Our eye cannot see the bent path. So our eye will see an image of this object. Okay. So our eye will see an image of this object. Our eye cannot directly see the object because our eye cannot follow the bent path of light. So if we drag these two rays backwards, it will meet at a certain point. Okay. At that point, we shall see an image of the object. So this is our image. This type of image, when two rays, when reflected or refracted rays do not get intersected after, when reflected and refracted rays do not get intersected, then the image formed is called virtual image. So this is our virtual image. This is our virtual image. Now again, if we draw a lens Let us assume this is a lens which is called concave lens. This is the center of this lens. Now let us assume an object which is placed in front of the lens. This is our object. Now two light rays coming from this object after. So this is ray 1 which is parallel to the principal axis. This line is called principal axis. So when this ray get refracted, it goes something like this. And the second ray which is passing through the optical center do not get deviated. It does not suffer refraction. So it goes straight without deviation. So these are our two rays. So they never intersect. Now if we drag this ray backwards, okay, okay, it will pass through the focus, but this is not its actual path. Okay, this is our imagination that we are dragging this ray backwards, and then we can say these two rays intersect. So okay, so at this point we can get another image which is called virtual image. So these two rays are not getting intersected. We are dragging this ray forcefully backwards to get an image. So this type of image is called a virtual image. Okay, so I have given two examples. First example is for a plane mirror where we see reflection, and in case 2 virtual image is being formed, but this is the case of refraction. Okay, so I hope you have understood it. So 2 points to be remembered. We cannot get virtual image on a screen. If we place our eye somewhere like this, we can see this image. Okay, we can see this image from behind the lens, but we cannot get this image on a screen. Okay, so we cannot get virtual image on a screen. And second, a virtual image is always upright or erect. Okay. So using these two examples, we can easily write the difference between real and virtual image. First point, when reflected and refracted rays are getting intersected, then we get a real image. And when the reflected and refracted rays are not getting intersected, then we get a virtual image. Point 2, virtual real image can be obtained on a screen, virtual image cannot be obtained on a screen. Number 3, real image is always inverted with respect to the object. A virtual image is always upright or erect with respect to the object. So, thank you, friends, for joining me.